Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Hi, I'm Dan Kim. I am Daniel Kimuyu from Kenya. Today is 10th of November 2023. We are living in a fantastic moments of interactions, of economic expansions, of knowledge access across all the fields. You can access knowledge, whatever knowledge you need. You get what you need when you need it. These are very interesting moments. Now, today, I want to refocus on avenues of 9th of November, that is yesterday. We had the President of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, addressing on giving his address on the state of the nation. And at the same time, we had Mr. Malema from South Africa. And this is my topic. This is the subject that I want to dwell on. And I want to say Malema Presence all coming into Kenya is a big welcome. Is a big challenge to the young generation, to the young Kenyans and the young Africans, because he came and he gave out the way we see him speak from South Africa. Malema was speaking the same, articulating the same mindset in Kenya. This gave me a hope that we are breaking the border limitations. You don't have to behave like Romans when you go to Rome. You can be yourself. Our identity as Africa is not a kind of being shaped or being cut into size based on the location where we are. It is time to break our border limitations and give Africa the best that it deserves. Malema articulated the need for in the cross-border restrictions to be eased, to be like we break the boundaries, because Africa was not intentioned to have the current boundaries that we have. We were meant to find the ultimate value that lies within the people of Africa, the land of Africa, because African land is the most blessed land over the world in terms of production, in terms of minerals, in terms of natural resources, wildlife, this the kind of green economy. Africa, in terms of weather, climate, it is the most blessed uh, continent over the world. But we don't realize this because other people realized it and they came to us and they put up division. That is why we say we say divide and rule. They applied divide and rule policy, and Africa, we lost our identity. And then we were nicknamed, we were given various names to make sure that the division is enshrined through our boundaries. We have Kenyans, Tanzanians, South Africans, but now it is awakening moment when we are speaking of ditching of dollar, ditching of cross-border restrictions, and making it easy for us to trade, for us to interact and exchange what we have and exploit our resources to the fullest, and also come up with a monetary system that we don't say the Tanzania as the Kenya, the Tanzanian kind of currency is undervalued compared to the Kenyan currency, compared to the South African, compared to Nigerians. It is time to break those limitations and come together and find the strength within us. Tanzania, there is what best can come from Tanzania and benefit Africa. But when they concentrate in overall economy, when they try to produce everything they need, that is where they miss the point and they end up with a currency that is based on their struggles, based on their weaknesses and their strengths, weighed together. But when we come together as Africa, we get what Congo can produce to benefit Africa, what Nigeria can produce, what Ghana can produce, what Tunisia can give Africa, what South Africa can give Africa, what Zambia can give Africa, what Zimbabwe can produce, what Chad can produce, what Burkina Faso can give Africa, what Egypt can bring on the table. And then now we have a strong Africa. And this one can be realized if now we move the next step. Let's walk the talk. Enough of the talk, because we know what we want. Now it is time to actualize it. And the coming of Malema gave me impression that Africa we can have a common electoral body where we can treat our African countries, the current borders, as states of Africa, where we can have election. We have 5 candidates. We can have a regulation, a common constitution, a guiding principle of coming up with a leadership that will steer Africa to the next level. Our forefathers, you look like people like Thomas Sankara, Kwame Nkrumah, Jomo Kenyatta, Nelson Mandela. Those are the people they fought for independence of. They chased away the whites, and they came up with the Pan-Africanism kind of approach. Or they came up with a way that they wanted to governize themselves. But when this was realized, there was elimination of Kwame Nkrumah, elimination of Lumumba, elimination of Sankara. These people were eliminated because of the dream that they carried. Now for this generation, it is time now to take the dreams of our fathers and actualize them. We come up with the electoral body. We come up with a system which can guarantee each state, the 54 states of Africa. We put amongst the five candidates who will take the helm of African presidency and who will command. And then we form a joint military, because our fights, the battles that we fight within Africa, they are mostly financed, they are sponsored from outside Africa. If we can establish a common military, a common armed forces of Africa, we can ensure that all Africa is ruled in totality, ensuring that there is no area, no place that our military cannot secure. Our waters, our land, our air is fully secured in and organized. There is no way like we have to have Interpol police. Like if there's a threat in Uganda, the Kenyan police cannot go and help them. Now when we have the African military, they will be responsive to respond to any attack, to any threat anywhere in Africa. And this one will strengthen us. We have knowledge, we have know-how. Africa has come of age to stand on its own and be treated as an equal candidate at the table of the United Nations, at the table of Commonwealth, at IMF, which is economic colonial master, the World Bank. Africa is not represented at the governance, at the management of the World Bank. Africa is not represented in the management of IMF. Yet